Okay, we're back with week 4, but now we're going to dive into the actual card meanings. I had started this on the other video and then remembered that I've been kind of separating this out. So I want to keep with that flow. But we're talking about the Devil card. I actually like this card. This card pops up a lot when I'm needing to do shadow work or when I have a client who needs to break free from something. This card, I think the symbols really help a lot because if you look on this card, you see the chains and they represent bondage, abuse, depression, addiction, obsession, materialism, really unhealthy patterns. This is a card of Capricorn. It's an earth card. The red is for passion and danger. And then the two humans, just like with the lover's card, the two humans are about choices, decisions, and also relationships. And the chains are things that keep us bound. Some of the upright meanings are negative thinking is a trap. Don't focus on the material world. Address your addictions. This can indicate betrayal either from yourself or others. And the low vibe, this is a card where the reversal is usually a little more positive. I usually see the reversal that somebody is coming out of this. So the chains have been broken. This is one of those exceptions. And so it can mean that it's time to break free or that you see the person breaking free. Time to reclaim your power, detach from everything, let go, and embrace independence. I tend to think about this being the card of Capricorn, and the fact that Capricorn is winter season and ruled by Saturn. And because of that, it's a time for detachment and becoming independent of everything. And so the card for yes, no is no, unless the question is, should you leave something behind? And then the question is yes. So if the client said, should I leave my relationship? Well, the answer would be yes. If the client said, should I stay in this relationship? The answer would be no. So there's that one. So after the devil, we have the most feared card in tarot, the card that I hate to see coming for sure, which is the Tower. And the Tower has the message that everything is indeed out of control and it's a time to accept that fact. The Tower is one of trauma, chaos, destruction, loss, disaster, pain, confusion, events that are unavoidable. I tell people all the time that I got the Tower card 2 days before my father died, and it was a clear indication that change was coming and that I needed to find a way to deal with it, but I actually didn't pick up on the meaning at what it meant for me personally at the time. And it is irreversible change. Planet Mars, red, black, that is about danger and fear. And the flames are aggression. And then you have the black sky, which is confusion about your path. And then you have the people falling out of the tower. And the upright meaning is intense change coming your way, but a situation that will free you. And so that's really positive, even though it's like a terrible way to have to be freed. It's like having to cut off your arm, to be free from handcuffs, but you are free. It can also suggest that somebody's in denial and that their thoughts are keeping them there. And it does predict, if you're doing a prediction, it does predict everything falling apart. So if somebody came to me and they said, is my marriage going to last? And I pulled the Tower card, probably not. Am I going to get fired from my job? And I pulled the Tower card, probably so. And so in reverse, though, it's the same meaning. This is one of those cards where it doesn't mean in reverse that everything's going to get better. That's not the way this card is. It is a redirection that everything is still the same, but you need to stop resisting the change. You are delaying the inevitable. You're avoiding painful emotions, and that you need to deal with reality as it is. The upright version of this card is a reality check, and the reversed version is a double reality check. And yes, is this a yes? Is this a go? Usually, absolutely not, unless it's one of the questions that I asked that I said earlier, like where somebody's saying, is my marriage is it going to last? No. Right. So, but then we have a good card coming after. We have the Star. This is the Hope card. Time of hope and progress, endless opportunities, quite the opposite of the Tower. So this card is about renewal and second chances. I love that. Creativity, success, endless opportunities, hope, inspiration. It's the card of Aquarius. Yellow is the optimism. The star represents those 7 energy centers, and the streams are connected to the Earth's energy. It's also about dreams coming true. So when I get this for somebody, you might have old relationships being renewed. So is my ex-boyfriend coming back? Yes. Is my health going to get better? Yes. Am I going to get that job that I applied for and I dreamed about? Yes. Wishes coming true. Countless opportunities are coming in reverse. So this is kind of like it could be a few different things. You can read it in the exact opposite. So the upright is hope and the opposite is no hope, feeling like everything is lost. Am I going to get that job? Probably not. You're probably going to be rejected. There's some failure there. But it can also read that others are jealous of you. People just don't want things to work out for you, and you have somebody that's kind of blocking you. But more often than not, it can be that somebody just needs to let go of their doubt, of their fear. Is it a yes in the upright? Without a doubt. What about the moon? Well, my tarot business was named after this card, but I can't say it's my favorite. When I first started out as a tarot reader, I knew all of the cards, and I was deeply attached and attracted to the moon. But this card has, like me, I guess, like all of us, it has some shadow side to it, and so I think maybe that's why it's the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful, because it's not just all positive, right? That's not really the way life is. It can be challenging to distinguish between truth and illusions and intuitive messages that can be insecurity based. This message from the moon says, don't be deceived. Your soul knows the truth. The key words for this card are intuitive messages, dreams, illusion, the subconscious, insecurity, fear, deceit, and misunderstandings. And then our links and symbols, we have the blue emotion, we have imagination here. It's a card of Pisces, water. The moon and the sun, which is our conscious, subconscious. And the sun would be conscious in that, though. I'll have to say that. And then the moon that should be switched around. The moon would be the subconscious. And then the crab is telling you to listen to that gut, listen to the instinct. When you get this card, you need to know that things are not as they appear and to be careful whom you trust. Your intuition is trying to warn you of something, and you may have some negative feelings present. In reverse, though, the problems are coming to an end. You will be overcoming this anxiety and this fear. You'll bypass your obstacles, and you just have to keep weathering that storm. As a yes or a no, usually this is a no card. It's usually that it's not advisable, and not because it can't happen or won't happen, but usually there's something hidden that you just don't know about yet that needs to come to light before a decision is made. What about the sun? This is always a positive card to see in a reading because it's a personal power card. Joy, happiness, inspiration, confidence, freedom, personal power. That yellow being happiness. And then it has 21 rays in it that represent the 21 major cards. That gray horse is your inner strength. And that red feather being life energy, the feather on top of the baby's head. This card is about success, prosperity, achieving much, marriage to one's soulmate. I get this a lot when I'm predicting a pregnancy or fertility. In reverse, it is pessimism, sadness, the opposite, miscarriage, infertility, you needing to set realistic expectations. And here's a major message: don't go into it blind. Don't go into something blind. If you are too naive, sometimes the reversal will come. And if it's upright, then the answer is yes. In reverse, usually a no. I will say the sun is one of the cards, though, that it keeps somewhat of a positive meaning in it, even in reverse. What about judgment? Look at Gabriel with his horn, and the people are rising up out of the graves. What does this mean? You know, what dreams and opportunities will you call up out of your grave? That's a question that I wrote here because this card is about deep renewal and rebirth. This card looks so dark that I think the images don't really do justice of the true positive meaning of this card, that you need to take action. You know, that there's a rebirth that could happen, that an awakening of a repressed energy. The blue in the card is change, and the coffins are you being released from something, released from oppression. The outstretched hands are being open, and then Gabriel is calling you to do something. In the upright, you're having to make a decision. You're going to have to do something. Sometimes it's forgiving yourself, others, making a choice that you haven't wanted to make, having to follow a calling that you didn't want, you've been putting off, and transformation coming. In reverse, it is illness and weakness, past karmic. Excuse me. Sorry, I'll try to edit that cough spree out, but I'm using Canva for this video and not Loom, so you may just have to catch a cough. But maybe I got too motivated about when I said illness, I felt it. So, regret of the past, karmic lessons, but not needing to doubt yourself and needing to take responsibility for your own life, for your own actions. And it's a yes card, but you need to be sure. You must be sure of your actions before moving forward. And finally, the final major card, the one we love to see, the world. The world card is success, ultimate achievement, belonging, travel, adventure. It's ruled by Saturn, so there's some boundaries there. But you have the red color, which is love and adventure here. The shawl, which is the evolution of the soul, the fool's soul, your soul, my soul. And then that green reef being triumph overall. And then the figure being a balanced life. And so when I see this for somebody, it's usually things working out in their favor, a good time to travel, the end of a cycle, the results being positive, things feeling stagnated in reverse, disappointments that must be overcome before you can finish the cycle, too many burdens and responsibilities, and then sometimes low self-esteem, lack of confidence. Upright, this would be a yes. In reverse, it would be the opposite, a no. All right, so I mentioned earlier this activity, which is card of the day. I do this myself. I do this, I try to do it every day. I definitely do it every Sunday. And so this is something that I suggest you do just with your major cards. Looking at these, working on the upright meaning and that reverse meaning. I wouldn't focus on the symbols as much, but you can look at those as well. All right, we're moving on to the next week.